Hey Grizzly Nation, this is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are at Southeast High School tonight in Southeast Wichita for tonight's Greater Wichita Athletic League doubleheader. Both varsity games right here on NWHS Grizz, and we're going to start tonight with the girls varsity contest, which will begin at the top of the hour. And before each and every one of those games, we're joined by our head coach, Christina Commons. Coach, take a look back at Friday night. We had homecoming, a huge crowd in the building, and unfortunately we had a little too much Bishop Carroll Friday night.
You know, I mean, even though the score doesn't show it, my girls are proud. We came in and we competed, and I think we competed more than what they were expecting us to do.
I would agree with that. It was a competitive, especially in the first half, very competitive contest. Carroll pulled away in the third quarter, and that was pretty much it. But good job by the girls in the first half against a very good Carroll team.
Well, and I also feel like when she comes out in the third quarter and still pressing me, they're not okay with what they had going in. You know, they needed to be able to pressure us, and they had to. But I think more importantly is when I think back on the whole entire game, we had minor moments, I feel like, in this game versus we took off a quarter. So I think that's the biggest part with my girls is we played, I think, good 4 quarters, maybe a few moments here and there.
Now we turn our attention forward, getting into the last quarter of the season, 5 games to go. And tonight we started with, we have 2 road games this week. We started with Southeast High tonight at their place. And, this Southeast girls team, this is a team that is definitely beatable.
Yeah, especially when we last played them and we got them into overtime. First experience for all of us, so that was fun. But I think this is going to be a good one to show them, like, I don't think we came out really, good from the start, but especially now that we've developed as a team and are doing better as a team, I think this is going to be a great game for us.
Of course, Southeast can say the same thing about themselves. We played them 3.5 weeks ago or whatever it was when we played them. They have evolved during the season as well. This isn't going to be the same Southeast Buffalo team that we played last time.
No, I don't think it is. A lot of teams the second time around for us is the fact that our girls are playing more as a unit versus as individuals. And I think that's what teams get most surprised with.
And I kind of noticed that. I even observed it on the air talking to Elizabeth, who was doing the play-by-play of the game on Friday night, that I noticed that as the girls came out and they sat, they talked, they're smiling. Mm-hmm. They came out of the game and they're still smiling, which means, hey, we're all in this together. The chemistry is there. We're all in this together, and we're going to go out there and get this done.
Well, and I think even more importantly, like when you say they come out and they're still smiling, is that they're not even upset they came out. Like, I came out of the game. Okay, now it's this girl's turn, and when I'm ready, I'm going to go back in as well.
Right. And, it gives you a chance, obviously, to get more players in the game, and which is what, of course, everybody wants that. Everybody wants all the players to play as much as possible, and that's not always possible. But, good rotation, good chemistry, and, even though we came up on the short end of the score Friday night, it looms well for the future. And you've got 5 games left, and I look at the 5 games on the schedule, and there's some wins in those 5 games because you've got Southeast tonight, East on Friday, then West comes in for their annual visit, and we have South, and then we wrap it up with Cape. And there's some wins in that group of games. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
Oh, I 100% agree. And I think if we get on this flow of win, you don't know how you can end a season with that many wins in a row.
Yeah, and it's always great to end the regular season on a high note. And, again, those games are important, too, because it will improve your playoff position. And obviously, or it's realistically, a home game is not in the cards this year for the team. But you get better draws if you finish better. So those games are all important.
Yes, if we could at least get 3 wins, depending on who it is, even 3 to 4 wins could really knock us back up there, and then we're in the middle of the pack again. And so I'm really hoping for some good stuff this next 2 weeks.
The injury situation for tonight is what?
Each day we kind of take it day by day. We've had some sicknesses again. I think if it hasn't hit a team yet, it's going to. So we've got some people sick, but they're trying to come back. They show up for the games. Hopefully we can see if we can get Kylina in. She's been working on getting her strength back and everything. And a lot of it is she doesn't have to feel like she's being rushed because she can trust her teammates, and her teammates trust that she's doing what she needs to be able to come back by the end.
Anybody besides Kylina?
No, that's it.
Well, that's good. If you only have one this late in the season, to have only one player with any kind of serious injury problem is a blessing. And of course, we would rather it be 0, but Kylina's got to take care of herself and do what she needs to do, and hopefully she can get a couple minutes in tonight.
Oh, I hope she can.
Okay. See you before our game on Friday against East High when we travel over there.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Head coach Christina Commons on our pregame visit. Stay tuned. We've got a 60-second timeout coming, and then we'll be back with the starting lineup and the play-by-play of tonight's girls' varsity contest against the Wichita Southeast Golden Buffaloes. You're watching NWHS Grizz, and this is Grizzly Basketball.
Hey, man, you got out for football?
Band class still needs you, man.
Kansas students have choices to do or not to do. The Kansas State High School Activities Association urges everyone to participate because when activities stop, nobody wins.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
Than you ever knew.
that you could do.
Means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training.
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wichita Southeast High School and the Southeast High School gym for tonight's Greater Wichita Athletic League doubleheader featuring the Grizzlies of Wichita Northwest and the host team, the Golden Buffaloes of Southeast. Glad to have you on board. My name is Kevin Arkin. I'm joined tonight by Rylan Biggs, our executive producer. And between the two of us, we're going to give you the sights and sounds of what should be a fun doubleheader here tonight at Southeast. You might recall when Southeast came to our gym some weeks ago, into overtime, first overtime game for the girls that I have ever broadcast with Northwest. Unfortunately, we dropped the overtime decision because we had 3 people foul out of the game. and just didn't have enough horses to get the job done. Hopefully they're going to make up for that tonight, and they will have a little payback here at Southeast. Hope you enjoy the broadcast wherever you are on planet Earth. We remind you that the webcasts on NWHS Grizz are primarily a student-driven production, and under the leadership of Mr. Shane Monroe, the kids in his audio-visual do the production of a number of things, including the live broadcasts on NWHS Grizz on the Northwest YouTube page. So please tell your friends, and please subscribe if you can to NWHS Grizz, as the school benefits from every single subscription. Real easy to subscribe as you're watching it now. Press the subscribe button and follow one or two easy steps, and boom, you've subscribed, and we thank you for your support. Girls are going to tip it off first here at Southeast. Nothing special about the facilities here at Southeast. The gym is very similar to our own. The only difference from the inside, you can't tell the difference from entry into the gym. You actually enter this gym at balcony level or at track level where we are, and you go down into the pit to get to the floor. Unlike the rest of the gyms in the City League, where you enter at ground level and go up to get to the track where we broadcast from. But the view for us is exactly the same. We want to thank the athletic director here at Wichita Southeast, Matt Kelly, for his hospitality. He's got us right where I want to be. The camera is literally on the midfield stripe, midcourt stripe, if you extended it all the way up to us. So we couldn't have a better view to give you the game from. We're awaiting the introduction of the starting lineups, and that will follow the playing of our national anthem and the presentation of colors by the Wichita Southeast Junior ROTC kids. They are standing by, ready to go. We're waiting for the PA announcer to begin, and he has just begun his pregame remarks. Also want to thank all the many sponsors who help bring you broadcasts on NWHS Grizz, and for Northwest basketball, we want to thank in particular Andrew's Cleaning Service, for his multi-year support. You see the presentation of the colors.
We would also encourage all of those in attendance to remember that USD 259 is a tobacco-free health zone. Thank you in advance for keeping our school environment tobacco-free. Fans, bad behavior at today's event will not be tolerated. Be positive and show respect to coaches, players, officials, and spectators. Focus on the contest and the effort. Maintain integrity, win or lose. Cheer for and not against, as everyone is a role model. Let's do our part to bench bad behavior at our athletic events. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, as with all
Alrighty, they finished the pregame remarks. Now it's time for the national anthem.
as the Southeast High School JROTC program presents our nation's colors, followed by the national anthem. Presenting our nation's colors on behalf of the JROTC are left guard, Cadet Sergeant Alexis Lozano. State flag, Cadet Corporal Liliana Martinez. National colors, Cadet Sergeant First Class Kathy Trump. Right guard, Cadet Sergeant Landon Portnier. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would please remain standing after the national anthem until the colors leave the floor.
That's the national anthem here at Southeast High School for our girls varsity and the Southeast Golden Buffaloes. You can just put them on us. There we go. Grizzlies will be wearing their road blues tonight with gold numerals and gold trim. And Southeast will be wearing their home whites with yellow numerals and yellow trim. And got to talk to the haberdasher for Southeast for giving us light on light and making it impossible to see the numbers during the game. Let's start with the introduction of the visiting team. That would be the Wichita Northwest Grizzlies. A 5'1" senior guard, number 1, Mackenzie Edwards. Number 0 for Southeast is Kaylin Dean, a 5'7" senior guard. For Northwest, number 21, a 5'2" junior guard, Aaliyah Richard. And for Southeast, number 2 is a 5'5" freshman guard, Zoe Waite. For Northwest, a forward, senior at 5'9", number 24, Sasha Reed. For Southeast, wearing number 3 today, a 5'5" senior guard, Leela Jones. For Northwest, 5'9", sophomore forward, number 30, Aubrey Navarrete. For Southeast, a 5'7" junior guard, number 5, Elena Webb. And rounding out the starting 5 for Northwest, a 5'11" junior forward, wearing number 34, Cameron Stubbs. And for Southeast, number 32 is a 6'2" junior center, Janessa Franklin. Grizzlies are coached by Christina Commons and Taylor Darr, and Southeast is coached by Don Dixon, Kevin Jolly, and Charity Dixon. Grizzlies will play from left to right in the first half. Getting set for the opening tip. I would believe it'll be Cameron Stubbs tipping it, or taking the tip for Northwest. And my guess is it'll be Janessa Franklin for Southeast, as she is the tallest player on that team. Let's see how right I am. I am correct. It will be Franklin and Stubbs to take the opening tip. We're getting set to get this one kick-started. Hope you enjoy it. Sit back and relax for a couple hours of City League basketball. Southeast wins the opening tip, brings it down the floor, into the paint, and back out again. Here's a long 3 ball that is short, and it rolls out of bounds. Turn it over to Northwest. Just underway in the first quarter. Grizzlies inbounding on the floor for Northwest. Kenzie Edwards, Aubrey Navarrete, Sasha Reed, Cameron Stubbs, and Aaliyah Richard. Richard with the ball for Northwest. Puts it up from 12 feet off the heel. No good. Rebounded by Southeast. Ball brought down. That's Webb putting it up. She's short. Rebound to Navarrete. She sends one over to Edwards. Edwards stops, pulls it back, gives it back to Navarrete. She pulls it out. She'll reset the offense. Man-to-man defense being played by Southeast. Into the corner off the hands of Aaliyah Richard. That'll turn it over to the Buffaloes. Pretty good crowd on hand here for this girls varsity game. As Webb brings it up the floor. That is not Webb, that's Jones, and this is the problem we have with bad numbers. That one rims out, no good, rebounded by Stubbs. Kenzie Edwards will bring it down. Over to Navarrete. Into the paint. Gives it back to Edwards for 3. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Franklin, and here comes Southeast back down the floor. And once again, that's Leela Jones bringing it down, gives it to Webb. Top of the key, Grizzlies in a 3-2 zone. In the paint to Webb, she dishes it out. Jones has it. Now she dishes it off far side. Into the paint it goes. They tried to get it to Franklin, and a travel is called. That'll turn the ball over to Northwest. We've played nearly 2 minutes here in the first quarter, still scoreless between the Grizzlies and the Buffaloes. Fans are still coming in, as you can see. Sasha Reed on the far side with the ball. And we have a travel on Reed, and that'll turn it over to Southeast. Neither team able to get much going here in the early going. On the near side, Jones gives it to Webb. Far corner now. That's Waite that gives it to Webb. Webb with the ball now, puts it up and count it. And Southeast is on the board first here in the first quarter. Kenzie Edwards with the ball for Northwest. Gives it to Reed. Reed into Richard. Last no good. Stubbs the putback, it doesn't go. And it's rebounded by Southeast. That's Jones bringing it down the floor. Left-handed hook shot doesn't go, but she's fouled. And she's going to go to the... No, she's not. Carissa Patterson comes in for Northwest, the 5'10" freshman guard. And she comes in and she replaced Cameron Stubbs. Richard can't make it go. Southeast with it on the far side of the floor. Loose and taken away by Richard. 4:25 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Southeast. Richards for three, off the glass, no good, rebounded by Elena Webb. Here comes Southeast back down the floor. Grizzlies can't get the cellophane off the basket. Now they are calling a foul on Northwest. First foul of the game by either team. Jones comes out, and she's substituted for by Tiana Hardwell, I believe that's who that is. Three ball misses, rebounded by Richard. Aaliyah Richard brings the ball down the floor. Sends it all, Mackenzie Edwards was waiting for it, and it was taken away and knocked out of play by Elena Webb. Grizzlies will inbound. And Reed gives it to Edwards. Edwards from 12 feet, misses everything. Grizzlies still can't ball that misses. That's the only thing that's saving the Grizzlies for now, is that Southeast isn't shooting much better than we are, and we're getting some rebounds. Edwards underneath to Patterson, and she can't lay it in. And we have a blocking foul that's going to be charged to Sasha Reed, I'm sure. And we're always concerned about that because Reed has a tendency to build up fouls in a hurry. Coming in for Northwest, number 2, the 5'1" freshman guard, Aubrey Lohman, joins the game. And she is joined out there by number 10, the 5'7" senior guard, Carly Wimberly. And we have a stoppage of play while Northwest gets the inbound. Lohman has it. Richard for Northwest pulls it back out. And there's a tripping foul. That'll be 2 minutes in the sin bin. And it's charged to Webb. That's the first foul on Southeast tonight. Grizzlies to inbound. They do so. And we're back underway. That's Lohman with it. She dishes it in to Patterson. Richard thought about a three, now drives, puts it up left-handed, doesn't go. Rebound to Reed. Her shot is blocked. And Southeast comes down with it. Webb with a 1-on-2. Misses. But there for the putback is Franklin. And the Buffs lead 4-0. We've had 4 points in 5 minutes in this game, all by Southeast. There's an intercepted pass by Southeast. And that lay-in doesn't go, and it's rebounded by Patterson. Good job by Carissa Patterson, who, by the way, will be our Meet the Grizzlies segment feature tonight at halftime. So stay tuned for that as we interview Carissa Patterson at half. Lohman into the paint off the glass. Finally, the Grizzlies get the Schneider off the board, and it's 4-2. On the far side, now back around the horn it goes. They shoot over the zone, missing everything, rebounded by Sasha Reed. She gets it up to Lohman. Lohman brings it down the floor. Lohman up off the glass, doesn't go. Nice rebound there by Patterson. Leah Richard for three is way short. And now there's a breakaway for Southeast, and Webb off the glass rolls it in. Aubrey Lohman. Lost the handle. And here comes Webb back down, and she'll lay another one in. And all of a sudden, the Grizzlies are down by 6. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. A very low-scoring quarter for both teams. Lohman missed again. That one goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Northwest. Aubrey Navarrete returns for the Grizzlies, replacing Aaliyah Richard. Giving us a little bit of height here at the end of the with it. Far side to Wimberly. Sasha Reed missed from 18 feet. And Wimberly got the rebound but couldn't find anybody to pass it to. Here's a breakaway basket and a score. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Down the floor it goes. That one is way short by Lohman, and the quarter will end. And Grizzlies find themselves down by 8 at the end of the first quarter. It's Southeast 10, Northwest 2. Back with the second quarter after this. Stay with us. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly Basketball. Grizzlies will inbound to start the second quarter. I guess they won't. I didn't see a jump ball called anywhere. Southeast inbounds were underway here in quarter number 2. They're not putting the possession up on the scoreboard, and we cannot see the arrow from our seat where it is on the scorer's table. So we're kind of playing by what we observe, and obviously I did not observe everything I should have. Zoe Waite with the ball for Southeast, trying to pull Grizzlies out of their zone. Now she drives through it, puts it up and misses. That one goes, nice save. And now it's out of bounds to Northwest. Grizzlies are fortunate not to be in a bigger hole than they're in, having scored only 2 points in the whole first quarter. Edwards with it for Northwest. Feeds it into Patterson. To Navarrete. To Stubbs. And the only person I haven't mentioned is Wimberly, and that's the 5 on the floor for Northwest. There's a long 2 that misses, rebounded by the Buffaloes. Webb feeds it out to Waite. Waite's had a 3 ball. Is short. Navarrete will inbound. Gets it into Edwards. Edwards puts it up. A floater and it falls. Edwards scores. It's 10-4. Grizzlies need to start working on that deficit. They trailed in the game at Northwest as well, but came back to force overtime before they finally ran out of gas. Franklin is short, rebounded by Wimberly. Here come the Grizzlies back. Edwards pulls it back out. Look out. Gets it into Stubbs underneath, trying to get it to Patterson, and it's intercepted. And Patterson's going to be guilty of a foul, forcing the player out of bounds. That'll be her first and the team's first.
Patterson, her first personal foul. Back in the game now for the Golden Buffaloes, number 3, Jones.
Leila Jones comes back in for the Buffaloes. And we're back underway. Webb dishes it off to Waite. Webb for 3. Nothing but net. And the Grizzlies are down by 9. That's their biggest deficit of the night so far. That one is knocked out of play. It'll stay with Northwest. Navarrete will handle the inbound task. Gets it into Stubbs to Edwards. Edwards' shot is blocked. A height disadvantage sure hurt us there. Underneath, that's Jones putting it up and missing. Franklin gets the rebound. Southeast puts it up again. That one misses. And it goes, and they're calling something here. I think they're calling a foul.
Foul number 1 for Northwest.
Kenzie Edwards called for the foul, and that will put Jones will go to the line, shooting 2. First one is good. Grizzlies down by 10. Grizzlies sub in 2 players as Aaliyah Richard and Sasha Reed come in for Wimberly and Patterson. One more free throw coming for Jones. And that one lips out. Grizzlies are down by 10. Richard. Sasha Reed for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Richard. Ball's fed into Stubbs. Stubbs, what are we going to call here? I think they called a jump. The signal wasn't very good. No wonder I missed it last time. But I think they called a jump ball, arguably the dumbest rule in all of sports. Grizzlies have it on the alternating possession. Kenzie Edwards puts one up. It's wide of the mark. There's a long 3 attempt, and that bounces off. Rebounded by Stubbs, and a timeout has been taken by Northwest, and it's a full timeout, I believe. Let's see what they signal. It is a full timeout. That means we're going to take the full timeout with them as well. Grizzlies trail 60. NWHS Grizz, this is Grizzly basketball. Back underway, coming out of the timeout. Northwest with the ball. Richard with it now in the corner. Feeds it underneath to Stubbs. Edwards sends it across the way. A long one for, and yes, a 3-ball by Navarrete. Southeast brings the ball up in the hands of Elena Webb. Webb still with it. They faked a handoff. 3-2 zone by Northwest. Waite with it. She pulls it back out. In the paint, Franklin puts it to nobody. And it's picked off by Aaliyah Richards. She'll bring it across herself. Brings it down the floor. In the air. And that one falls for a 3. Aaliyah Richard. And the Grizzlies down by 6 now. They've cut the deficit in half in 2 possessions. Webb, a long 2 off the rim, no good. Edwards. Leah Richard charged with her first foul. That's the 3rd team foul of the second quarter. Webb brings it across the timeline. Jones feeds it into Franklin, off the rim, no good. And here comes Kenzie Edwards. She tried to force one underneath, gets it back. Now Richard has it. Richard drives, pulls it back out, puts up a 3 that misses everything. And it's rebounded over there on the far side by Waite. And now we have a stoppage of play. And looks somebody's taking a timeout, and it looks like it will be Southeast. They will take a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Grizzlies trailing 16-10. They trailed by a dozen a few moments ago. So this could be a lot worse. And again, Southeast will have the ball as we resume play here. And the Grizzlies putting a bit of a press on. Token press at best. Jones with it for Southeast. She pulls it back out. Underneath, loose on the floor. Who's going to get it? Ends up in the hands of Kenzie Edwards. Edwards will drive the length of the floor, put it up and miss. Grizzlies cannot buy the easy baskets. Now Webb with a breakaway basket. So the 2 we didn't get, Southeast did get. And they lead by 8 again as we approach 90 seconds to go. Coming out of the timeout, a substitution for Northwest as McKaylee Nave comes into the game, and she just missed. Underneath again this time. Jones gets the easy lay-in. They've got 8 points on easy lay-ins here in this first half. I know that's something that Coach Commons will tell them they need to clean up here in the second half. There's one that's poked away and intercepted. Jones brings it down the floor for Southeast. She puts it up and it rolls in. And all of a sudden we're down by a dozen again, less than a minute to go in the first half. McKaylee Nave gives it to Patterson. Back to Nave. Nave's shot is blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Northwest with 33 to go in the half. Aubrey Lohman, Carly Wimberly come in. Richard comes out and Edwards comes out for the Northwest Grizzlies. And we're back underway. Clock running, 30 seconds to go. There's an interception and a fast break for Southeast and a score. I've got them for 14 fast break points in the first half, and that's the difference in the game. Aubrey Lohman pulls it out into Nave. Nave tried to feed it to Patterson. It was intercepted. That one is blocked and intercepted. 4 seconds to go. Ball rolls out of play. It will stay with Southeast. There's actually 1.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Ball at the buzzer. Misses everything, and we are at halftime. Well, it's a good time for it to happen. We're going to send it to our interview with Carissa Patterson in just 1 minute. Before we do that, we're going to reboot our graphics board just went dead. We want to make sure we have that for you, so stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Come on. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologize for the delay. Now we're going to send it to the Grizzly segment. She'll be on in 1 minute. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly basketball.
Hey, Grizzly Nation. This is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Kansas. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. High school sports are only about competition. Think about this. High school sports are only about competition. Think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
prove yourself.
To challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
Than you ever knew.
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training.
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit, if you will, about yourself and your family.
I'm 15 years old. I'm a freshman. I have 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. And my parents, one's a teacher and one works here at Northwest.
Can you tell us a little bit about your basketball history?
I've played basketball since I was 4. Played on several different teams. I played basketball throughout middle school at Wilbur, and then now I'm playing at Northwest.
What's the difference between middle school basketball and high school basketball?
I think in high school you should have a lot more pressure on you to do well. It's in middle school it's more like laid back. But I think high school basketball is more exciting to me than middle school basketball.
What are your goals as far as basketball for yourself and for your team are concerned?
Just to be supportive of each other, bond, be a good teammate to everybody, and then have my own successes and our own successes as a team. So.
What's your favorite subject so far?
Probably English. Yeah.
You want to give kudos to your English teacher?
Yeah. Thanks, Miss Walford. You're the best.
You heard it here first, and the check's in the mail. Okay, we glad to have you, and looking forward to 4 years of basketball from you, young lady.
Yep, I'll be here all 4 years.
Okay, Carissa Patterson, our guest here at halftime on our Meet the Grizzlies segment. Stay tuned after this 60-second timeout. We'll be back with the second half of tonight's Varsity Girls contest. You're watching NWHS.
Ever knew
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
the best training,
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all.
At halftime, on the floor for your Grizzlies, it's the starting 5. 12-footer off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Sasha Reed. Reed is out there with Kenzie Edwards, Cameron Stubbs, Aubrey Navarrete, and Aaliyah Richard. Richard with the ball at the moment. Richard drives 10 feet away, count it. Now what we need is about 40 of those, and we'll be in good shape. Grizzlies back down to a 12-point deficit. That 14-pointer at halftime was their largest deficit of the game. And hopefully the Grizzlies will work on their shooting here in the second half. There's a block shot and a rebound by Stubbs. Gives it to Kenzie Edwards. Edwards brings it down the floor. Edwards underneath. Navarrete has her pocket picked by Waite. Grizzlies in the 3-2 zone again. They've been in it most of the game. There's a long 3 off the heel, no good. Franklin gets the rebound for Southeast and gives it to Jones. Jones puts up a 3 of her own, that's short. Rebounded by Aaliyah Richard. Richard in the paint, gives it off, and they're a stoppage of play. And are they calling a foul, or they are calling a foul? They're calling a charge against Aaliyah Richard. It's her second foul, team's first foul of the third quarter. Over on the far side, Wade has it, gives it to Jones. Jones now back in the corner to Wade again. This time to Webb. Webb almost lost it. She puts it up from 12 feet and it goes in. Grizzlies trail 26-12. Edwards puts up a floater. It doesn't go, and the rebound goes to Southeast. Getting the rebound and bringing it down the floor is Jones, and she scores. Biggest deficit of the game now for Northwest at 16 points. Navarrete pulls it out. Tried to get it to Richard. It was intercepted by Webb, and Webb takes it down the floor. And, you know, we talked about the fast break points late in the first half. That's 16 of them now. Richard for three. Good! Bringing it down the floor now is Webb. Webb gives it to Jones, back to Webb. And that one off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Stubbs. Fast break points finally for Northwest. First fast break bucket of the night for the Grizzlies. That's it, hit them where they live. And they've been living by the fast break here, has Southeast, and now we have a timeout taken by Southeast. See if it's a full or a partial. It is a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. Pleased to tell you that our next webcast will be Friday night. We're going to travel over to East High. Rylan's going to go with me. And we're going to bring you the East High Blue Aces in their second matchup of the year in the home and home series. We're on the air at 5:45 Friday night with the girls' pregame show and Coach Christina Commons. Southeast will inbound, 4:13 to go, third quarter. They lead by 13 points. Jones drives it into the paint, gives it off to Webb. Webb pulls it out for a three. Rims out, no good. Put back by Franklin misses. Second chance misses, and I think she got fouled. And she did. She will go to the line and shoot a pair. It's on Sasha Reed. That's her second. First one misses off the heel. One more coming. She makes one out of two. 31-17, Southeast. Edwards. Oh, she lost the handle. Here comes Southeast, 3-on-1. Webb over the top of Wimberly. Goes out of bounds. Webb missed the shot. Ball will stay with Southeast. And that loose ball goes out of play, and it will belong to Northwest. On the floor for Northwest, Carissa Patterson, Aaliyah Richard, Kenzie Edwards, Sasha Reed. Now what do we have called here? And Carly Wimberly. Let's get the 5 on the floor. And that one evidently got kicked by a player. I take that back. They charged Webb with a personal foul. Richard for three. Good!
And the three-point basket is good. Number 21, Richard.
Aaliyah Richard gets us back within 11. And that one misses, goes out of bounds, and it turns over to Northwest. A break for the Grizzlies.
Game now for the Golden Buffaloes, number 23, Hardwell.
Tiana Hardwell, number 23, comes in for Southeast. There's one that's intercepted. And here comes Southeast back down the floor with it. And we have, what do we have? We have a travel call. That'll turn it over to Northwest, and a break for the Grizzlies. Aubrey Lohman came in for Northwest at the stoppage, replacing Edwards, and Grizzlies throw it out of bounds. Southeast will bring it back down the floor. Webb with it. Goes deep along the baseline, puts it up from 8 feet, missing. Franklin with a rebound, puts it up, it's blocked. Loose on the floor, Wimberley is tying it up. And they finally blow a whistle. They have not yet, these referees are not signaling jump ball. Now, I don't blame them since it's the dumbest rule in sports, but you got to signal something. And it's Grizzlies ball on the alternating possession. Lohman to Reed. Underneath. Patterson dishes it back to Lohman, puts up a 3 off the rim, no good. Put back by Sasha Reed, doesn't go. She gets the rebound. Lohman gives it back to Reed. Reed into the paint, dishes it over toward Lohman, and it's intercepted by Southeast. Webb drives, puts it up, floater, good.
And the floater in the lane is good for 2, number 5, Webb.
Aubrey Lohman for Northwest sends it into the corner to Patterson, and we have a foul called on Southeast. Fouls on Tiana Hardwell, that's her first. Aubrey Navarrete returns for Northwest, and Aaliyah Richard takes a seat. Lohman with the ball for the Grizzlies. She drives, loose on the floor. Back to Reed. Reed into the paint. Off the glass, count it. Grizzlies trail by well, I have them trailing by 11. The scoreboard says they're down by 13. We'll see if they change that, or if I put up a basket I shouldn't have. Jones puts up a 3. It's partially blocked. It's like I'm going to have to change my score, so I did. Less than a minute to go in the quarter. Reed misses. That one is deflected out of play. Almost took the hat off of Coach Christina Commons. Inbounded by Navarrete to Lohman. Reed can't get it to go. Rebounded by Franklin. Here comes Southeast with it. 30 seconds to go in the half. We'll see how they play it. And they're going to play for points. And that one is blocked and intercepted, and a foul is called. Jones is going to go to the line and shoot a pair. And it's on Sasha Reed. That's her third.
To the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Golden Buffaloes, number 3.
Jones' first one is good. Jones' second one off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Wimberley. It goes out of play, and they're going to give it to Northwest. I'll take that break. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Aubrey Lohman will bring it across the timeline. Dishes it to Wimberly. Carly back to Reed. Reed over to Lohman for three. Get in there, ball. It won't go. The putback misses, and we have a foul called. And we're going to be shooting free throws here for Northwest with 1 second to go in the quarter. It's on Janessa Franklin. It's her first. Team foul number 3. First one misses. It's been that kind of a night so far. Come on, Sasha, make that one. Missed them both. Patterson, the rebound. At the buzzer, it doesn't go. And we have finished the third quarter of play. The score at the end of 3 quarters is Northwest trailing 34-20. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. Stay with us. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly Basketball.
Hey, Grizzly Nation. This is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out? Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Stepping on my own court. Back at Southeast for the start of the fourth quarter. Southeast will inbound to start play in the fourth. And we are underway in quarter number 4. Grizzlies down 14 here as we start the fourth quarter of play. Kenzie Edwards back on the floor, so is Aaliyah Richard. Joined by McKaylee Nabe, Cameron Stubbs, and Kenzie Edwards. I think I said Kenzie. Who did I miss? Oh, Carly Wimberly. I missed her. Here's a long 3-ball, short, rebounded by Wimberly. She'll give it to Richard. And Richard scores for Northwest.
Number 21, Richard.
On the far side, this is Waite giving it to Jones. Jones puts up a, and here come the Buffs back with it. And an easy lay-in that time.
Good for 2, number 5, Webb.
Elena Webb, the scorer for Southeast. Underneath to Wimberly. Wimberly gives it to Stubbs. Back to Wimberly. Wimberly puts one up. It doesn't fall. Rebounded by the Buffs. There's another face-fast break attempt. This one didn't work. This is going to be a long 2 if it goes. It is not. Rebounded by McKaylee Nave. And this one underneath. Edwards does a nice job to get that ball. She sends it up to Richard. 2-on-1 break. That goes away. Richard a 3. It doesn't go. And a rebound to Southeast. And Aaliyah Richard got her money's worth, but she did commit. And we're back underway here in the fourth quarter. Grizzlies down by 16. They were down by 14 after 3. Grizzlies have not been in the game all night. Webb puts up a 3 off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Richard. Almost lost it, gets it back. Now she'll bring it down the floor. Sends it over to Wimberly. Carly over to Kenzie Edwards in the paint. McKaylee Nave. Yes, McKaylee Nave gets on the scoreboard.
2 points for 22 Nave.
There's a long 2 that missed everything. And that pass still points to Northwest, if my guessing is correct. And I'm willing to bet you this was more than a 30-second timeout. .4:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. Southeast will all fall. And they're going to call a travel. I was hoping they were going to call a jump ball. That would have given it to Northwest. So that'll turn it over to the Buffs with 3:54 to play. Ball inbounded. And a foul on Patterson. That is her second. It's the third team foul on Northwest. Buffaloes don't have a foul in this quarter, so they got a lot of fouls to give. Underneath, short. Franklin, now we got a tie up, and that should be Northwest ball, and it is. On the alternating possession, Carissa Patterson will inbound to Kenzie Edwards. Far side to Richard. In Patterson counted off the glass. Good job from Richard to Patterson. And now we have a foul on Patterson. Trying to steal the ball. I thought she got it, but evidently she got some of the player as well. That is the third team foul on the Grizzlies. And Southeast will inbound to resume play. And the Grizzlies are starting to run out of time. They've only got 3.5 to go, and they're down by 11. Off the glass on the putback, it misses. Reed gets the rebound, and she's fouled. Oh my goodness, they called it on Northwest. No, they, yeah. That's the fifth team foul now, and Southeast will be shooting free throws the rest of the game. First one misses. Grizzlies over the limit. Well, she missed them both. And Northwest will get the ball on the out of bounds play. Bowman sends it down to Patterson in the corner. Patterson from 8 feet, rims out. Who's going to get the rebound? It goes out of play. It stays with Northwest. Navarrete and Stubbs come back in for Northwest, replacing Patterson and Edwards. Richard thought about a three, now drives, puts it up off the glass, doesn't count. She's going to go to the line and shoot a pair, and they finally call a foul against Southeast here. So on Franklin, it's her second. Richard's first one is good. Richard's second one is also good. Grizzlies got it within 9. Zoe Waite comes back in for Southeast. 2:54 to go, fourth quarter. Grizzlies down by 9. They got to get the ball back and make a stop or two. Webb gives it off to Waite. Waite has Richard in front of her. Navarrete almost stole it. Jones with it, pulls it back out. Grizzlies do not have fouls to give. So fouling would not be the best solution. There's one loose underneath. Sasha Reed manages to tip it to Stubbs. Now Reed has it again. She sends one forward to Lohman. Lohman sends it across to Navarrete. Here's an uncontested three off the heel, no good. Lohman gets it back and saves it. Tosses it out to Richard. And now we have another stoppage of play.
Foul number 5 for Southeast, Webb. Her third personal foul.
Webb picks up her third. Second team foul, 2 minutes and 1 second remaining. Underneath, Reed can't control it. It goes, now Reed, they're saying Reed was fouled. Or are they going it, well, maybe not. Yeah, they're.
Foul number 32 for the Golden Buffaloes,
Franklin picks up her third. Ball's underneath. Reed can't get the score, and ball ends up in the hands of Southeast, and they're going to call I think they're calling a jump ball. It'll go to Southeast on the alternating possession. Webb sends it across the way to Jones. Back to Webb. 90 seconds remaining. Jones content to dribble out some time. Now she sends it back to Webb again. Webb with it. And dishing it off to Waite. And a foul is on Richard. That'll be her fourth, I believe. Comes with 1:05 remaining. It is her fourth. And because they're over the limit, we'll be shooting free throws here. That'll be Waite throwing shooting the free throws. First one is up and good. Deficit is 10. That's 4 possessions. Not good news for Northwest. Carly Wimberly comes back in for the Grizzlies along with Edwards. Second one's off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Southeast, and a quick foul call. Rather, a timeout was taken by the Buffaloes, and it will be a full timeout. We're going to go ahead and take that timeout with them. 1:07 to go, fourth quarter. We'll be back. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly Basketball.
Hey, Grizzly Nation. This is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
.107 to go, fourth quarter. Grizzlies down by 10. The possession arrow is pointing toward us, toward Northwest. That's the only good thing I can say. They've got one more. I'm sorry, they've got, I messed this up. Grizzlies have 3 more timeouts remaining. Back underway. Loose on the floor. And we have, I'm not sure what we have, but they're giving the ball back to Northwest. Richard from the corner, missing. Put back, misses. Richard again, now a whistle and a foul. It looks like Richard's going to go to the line and shoot a pair. We'll take that. And Southeast is now at the limit. Fouls on Zoe Waite. First one by Aaliyah Richard is good. She'll get one more. Makes them both. Back underway, 30 seconds to go. Grizzlies are going to fall here. They made it a lot closer than it could have been. The deficit was 16 at one point. It's 8 now, but they just couldn't get close. It all started back in the first period when the Grizzlies got outscored 10-2 early. They just could not buy a bucket. Webb is at the line. The first one is good. Second one from Webb on its way is short, rebounded by Stubbs. Brought down by Navarrete. Edwards. She tried to put it up. It was a clean block, and here comes Southeast back. 10 seconds to go. Waite sends it over to Jones. Jones in the corner. And that will run out the clock. And we are final. Final score of the girls' game, 42-33. The Grizzlies fall. Not much you can say about the game except the girls fought hard. They just could not find the basket early enough and often enough to keep up with Southeast. And they dropped the 9-point decision. We're going to go ahead and send it to and the pregame show here, or pregame interview for the boys' game, which will be coming up. That can't be right. They just put 37 minutes on the clock. Now they changed it to 20. I was going to say, if we got to fill 37 minutes, I don't know what I'm going to fill it with. The boys' game is set to start in about 20 minutes. We're going to spend 10 of that visiting with head coach Andy Hill. That'll all happen after this timeout. Stay with us. You're watching NWHS Grizz, and this is Grizzly basketball.
Hey Grizzly Nation, this is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Just a few minutes, and we're joined before every boys varsity contest by our head varsity coach, Andy Hill. And Coach Hill, first of all, congratulations on a nice homecoming victory against the Golden Eagles of Bishop Carroll on Friday.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought we played really well for about 2/3 of that game. We were able to get off to a good start. I think we outscored them, 11-2 in the second quarter or something like that. So we were pretty locked in defensively. We were running good offense. The ball was moving. We were getting good shots. We started the third quarter off really well and pushed the lead out to 23. And then we just kind of got really stagnant for a while. We started running, bad offense. The ball wasn't moving. We were taking bad shots. And we let them cut it all the way back to 8. I think that was early in the fourth quarter. So that was concerning. But at the same time, to have that kind of experience of, okay, we lost some momentum, they're cutting into the lead, it's getting close, it's getting tight again. We called a timeout, we settled down, and we were able to get the momentum back and push the lead right back out to 15 or 16 and then finish the game from there. So you would like to not have had that happen, but at the same time, that kind of experience can be a valuable one, and just knowing that we can get the momentum back, get back to playing good basketball when the other team has all the momentum.
And we certainly don't want to take anything away from Bishop Carroll. I mean, they've got arrowed. A lot of that was because of their great play, too, and we got to hand that to them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Coach Dom does a great job. He always has those kids ready, and they believe, every game that they're going to come in and win. And, a lot of our struggles that I described was due to Carroll and what they were doing as well. So credit to them for sure, and we were glad to be able to get the win.
Turning our attention to tonight's game, we've moved across town now, and we're taking on Southeast in their building, and that's always a very difficult task.
Extremely. It is one of the tougher places to play for whatever reason. All the gyms are the same, but it's just kind of a place that seems difficult to play a lot. And then on top of that, Southeast is playing really good basketball. They're one of the most talented teams in the state. They got off to a slow start this year, but they've won 7 out of their last 10 games. They've got some extremely talented kids, some long, really athletic kids that are difficult to guard, and now they're playing, I think, very confidently. Coach Brown has done a great job of righting the ship and getting them to execute at a high level now. So this is, one of the most difficult games we've got left on our schedule. And, I know we had pretty good time with them the first go-around. We were able to win pretty comfortably. I don't anticipate this one to be that way at all. They're playing really well, and it's going to take a very strong effort for us to win.
And, it's kind of interesting, in the City League when we play each team twice, and now we're in the part of this league playing everybody for the second time. It's not the same team we're playing that we played the first time we played them. So it's almost like you can put a different uniform on them, and they're a totally different team.
Yeah, that is true most of the time. I mean, every team, when you play over the course of a 20-game season and, 3.5, 4 months long, all teams are going to evolve one way or another. So, kids improve, roles change for a team, coaches make adjustments, and all of that stuff, changes the dynamic from what game one was to then the second time around. So, our guys, they're going to know that this is a totally different Southeast team, and it's going to take our best effort.
Any players in particular on Southeast we need to be looking out for?
Number 2, DJ Brown. He's on an absolute tear right now. He scored, I think it was 42 in their last game against North. So he was just on fire, playing really confidently. Number 3, Anthony Granger, gets about 12 points a game for him, I think, and he's one of the most impressive athletes in our league. I mean, he's probably 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", really long. He can shoot it. He can put it on the floor and drive it. Anything around the rim, he's going to go up and dunk. Defensively, he's a guy that can protect the rim and block shots. So he is a real problem. Just any game that he's in, he's a really impressive kid. And then they've got number 14 is Colin Laws, who's one of the best. Between those three guys, they kind of score the majority of their points. But then they've got, their role players as well are all doing their jobs and making them a better team. So, yeah, they're really solid.
What's the injury situation looking like for tonight?
No injuries.
That's probably been the best news all season. You've really the boys have stayed healthy for the most part, pretty much the whole season.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's just one of those things that you try to make sure your bodies are prepared for the grind of a season. Coach Daniels, Rashad Daniels, our strength coach here, does an amazing job with all of our athletes of working with them strength wise and mobility and flexibility and all that stuff. So you do everything you can to prepare and try to stay healthy and hope that nothing happens that's outside of your control. And so far, knock on wood, we've been lucky. So
okay, best of luck to you tonight against Southeast. I know we got 5 games left. They're all important because we're looking at seeding for postseason, and I know you want to get a couple games at home at least.
Yeah, for sure. That's always the goal. You got to finish top 4 in 6A West to be able to host both games. Long way to go until we can be in that spot, but right now we're in a pretty good position, and we just got to keep improving and take each game as it comes.
Okay. Best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you Friday before we go over to East High.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Head coach Andy Hill on our pregame visit. Stay tuned. We're going to take a 60-second timeout, and then we'll be back with the starting lineup and the play-by-play of tonight's game against the Wichita Southeast Golden Buffaloes. You're watching NWHS Grizz, and this is Grizzly Basketball.
Hey, man, you going out for football?
Band class still needs you, man.
Kansas students have choices to do or not to do. The Kansas State High School Activities Association urges everyone to participate because when activities stop, nobody wins.
What does it mean when people say America is a land?
The best training,
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
so you can be all you can be.
And a very pleasant good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are at Southeast High School. We're getting set for the boys' varsity game as the girls dropped a 9-point decision to the Buffs in the first game. And as you can tell by the clock on the clubhouse wall, we've got a little bit of time yet before we introduce players. And I haven't gone down to get starters, which I'm about to do. So enjoy the music. Normally, Mrs. Hall will text me the starters. My phone's dead in here. So I'm going to go down.
And just a reminder before we tip off tonight's children's contest, stop by and visit the Wichita Southeast concession stand on the upper level. There's plenty of tasty snacks and cold, refreshing beverages, so help support the Southeast High School athletic program. And we'd like to take this opportunity to provide a special recognition to some supporters of Southeast High School athletic programs. Auto Smart South, located at 3144 South Southeast Boulevard. Make a smart choice and call 316-440-4400. And Messenger Church, currently meeting here at Southeast High School. That's at 2641 South 127th Street East. For more information, call 423-715-8747. Again, a special thank you to our cooperating sponsors. This is Southeast High, where the soundtrack is game time. Try to keep games of fire with me. Turn to one piece, each of fire with me. Just see the pole so capital. Unleashing the force I work out with me. We come to take it all. Put on the consider more. Switching my thoughts on my phone. I stare in the eyes of my hoes. The word of play. I'm gonna take over the city. I'm gonna make the game better. You can run away with me, got it. Ain't scared nobody.
I added 5 players. And I changed the number on 2. He obviously gave me an out-of-date roster. Woo! All righty. Back at Southeast, getting set for the introduction of the starting lineups and the national anthem. Grizzlies will be wearing their road blue uniforms with gold trim and blue numerals. Southeast will be in white as the home team. Grizzlies will play from left to right here in the first half of this contest.
To assist in the promotion and achievement of good sportsmanship, the expectation of coaches, officials, participants, and spectators is to take personal responsibility for keeping this contest at a high level of fair.
Pretty decent crowd here at Southeast. Southeast is located in the southeasternmost corner of Sedgwick County and isn't really close to any other school. So that's a bit of a trip over here for most people. For me, it's not. I live in this area. I live on the east side. So for me, it was an easy trip over here, but I'm the exception and not the rule.
Focus on the contest and the effort. Maintain integrity, win or lose. Cheer for and not against, as everyone is a role model. Let's do our part to bench that behavior.
Sportsmanship announcement being made by the PA announcer here.
At this time, as with all great sporting events, we would like to invite all those in attendance to stand and remove your caps.
And it's time now for the presentation of the colors and our national anthem.
Followed by the national anthem. Presenting our nation's colors on behalf of the JROTCR. Left guard, Cadet Sergeant Alexis Lozano. State flag, Cadet Corporal Liliana Martinez. The national colors, Cadet Sergeant First Class Kathy Trump. Right guard, Cadet Sergeant Landon Courtnier. And ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you please remain standing after the national anthem until the colors leave the floor.
The national anthem here at Southeast High School and the presentation of the colors by the Southeast High School Junior ROTC program. And it's time now for the introduction of the starting lineups. And unlike last game, we're going to give you all of Southeast first. Southeast, the home team, in their home whites with yellow numerals, yellow trim. And starting for the Buffs, a 6'4" junior guard, number 2, DJ Brown. 6'7" junior forward, Anthony Granger. Those are the two people you heard Coach Hill talk about in pregame. We're going to be calling their number a lot tonight. 5'9" senior guard Braden Dale wears number 5. Number 14 is a 6'4" junior guard, Colin Laws. And finally, a 5'7" junior point guard, number 22, Preston Din. The Buffs are coached by Kerry Brown. He's assisted by Stacy Bias and by Kaylin Loggins. Now, the starting lineup for your Wichita Northwest Grizzlies. At 5'9", a senior guard wearing number 2, Tayshawn Williams. 5'11", sophomore guard, number 4, Darian Hammond. 6'5", Eli Benning. 6'3", senior forward, number 11, Jerome Henderson. And rounding out the starting 5, 6'2", senior forward, number 23, Jace Glasper. Grizzlies are coached by Andy Hill. He's assisted by Gavin Darr, Kylan Hawkins, and so the Grizzlies will be playing from right to left. Did I say right to left? Right to left was correct. If I said that, it was correct. If I said the other way, I was wrong. But they will play from right to left. Tipping it, no, they're gonna. I take that back. They're playing from left to right here in the first half. And the Grizzlies are on. I'm all confused. It's my fault. I'll explain this as we go along. The tip is won by Southeast. Grizzlies are on the same bench in this game they were in the last game. They're playing from left to right in the first half. And Southeast won the opening tip. That's Braden Dale with it. He dishes it off on the near side. A 3-ball is short. Rebounded. And we have a whistle. Taken. You got to be kidding me. It was taken by Colin Laws. He missed, got his own rebound. And for some, I don't know why they stopped playing. Eli Benning gets the rebound that time. Grizzlies down at the offensive end of the floor. That's Glasper with it in the paint. He pulls it back out, gives it to Williams. Williams can't find any room. Benning sends it over in the corner to Darian Hammond, who got a haircut. That one's intercepted by Preston Din. Goes out of play. It will stay with Southeast. Well, we're a minute in, no score yet, but a lot of action here in this second game of our doubleheader. Ball's inbounded to Granger. Sent back out to DJ Brown. Brown sends it in the corner. There's a 3, count it. Colin Laws with the 3-pointer to start things off for Southeast. Now there's a takeaway on a errant pass, and that one falls as well. And just like that, Braden Dale makes it 5-0. Grizzlies won the first meeting between these two teams. And they come in tonight 12-3 on the season. And the Grizzlies boys are having the same problem the girls did. They're missing the short shots. And we have a whistle. Ball will stay with Northwest. .6:02 remaining, first quarter. Colin Laws puts one up for 3. It misses. Rebounded by Williams. He sends it up underneath. Give and go, and the Grizzlies are on the board. Glasper puts it in for Northwest. Brown. His misses. Rebounded off the boards by Northwest. Hammond from the far side for three. In and out, no good. The rebound putback misses as well. And we have a whistle and a foul call. This may be over the back on Williams. Let's see what they call here. And that's exactly what it is. Williams is first, team's first. Back underway. Southeast brings the ball up the floor. That's DJ Brown with it. And we have a whistle. And we have a foul call. This will be an offensive foul, I believe, on Granger for setting a pick where he shouldn't have. And each team now with one foul here in the first quarter. Benning with it for Northwest. Eli underneath the glass burr, yes. Henderson, excuse me. Henderson from Benning, and it's 5-4. Granger back out in the paint, off the glass, counted, the basket by Preston Dinn. Benning brings it down the floor. Sends it over to Williams on the near side. Up off the glass, he's fouled going up. Got hammered pretty good. He's going to go to the line and shoot a couple of free throws here. Fouls on DJ Brown, that's his first. And the Buffs' second team foul. Williams' first one. Rattles and falls. Williams makes them both at 7-6. Southeast with the ball. That's Dinn bringing it down. Long three off the heel, no good. Rebounded by the Buffs. Laws with it now. Spin move, puts it up from 6 feet. It doesn't go, and the rebound to Glasper. Here comes Northwest. Underneath, Hammond. And the Grizzlies have their first lead of the game, 8-7. They trailed 5-0 and have an 8-2 run since. There's one that misses, rebounded. Benning brings it down the floor, gives it to Williams. Williams pulls it out, gets it back in. Hammond with it now. Williams, he thought about a three, now drives with it off the glass, and it falls. And the Grizzlies lead 10-7. Grizzlies had a hard time getting things going, but they managed to do it now, and they've outscored 10-2 since giving up 5 uncontested points. There's another miss, and that's one of the reasons why Southeast has been unable to find the hole in the last 4 minutes, and there's one from Williams for 2 more. And we have a stoppage of play. What do we have? We have a foul called on Hammond. It's his first foul on the inbound play. Braden Dale will inbound for Southeast. In for Northwest. Liam Calvert comes in, number 15 for Northwest. He replaced Henderson. And Southeast throws one away. Tayshawn Williams will inbound to Benning. And we're back underway here. 2:30 to go, first quarter, 12-7. Grizzlies lead. They run a 12-2 run at the moment. Trying to add 2. Pardon me. That one didn't go, but the putback did. Jace Glasper scores, and the Grizzlies lead by a touchdown. Over here on the near side, Colin Laws sends it back out to Din. Back to Laws in the corner. And Laws throws it away. Grizzlies will sub in players. They'll sub in Franklin EQ. He'll come in for Darian Hammond. So we have EQ, Liam Calvert, Tayshawn Williams, Jace Glasper, and Eli Benning. That's the 5 on the floor here with 1:50 to go. Back underway. And that's going to be a foul on Williams over the back. I think that's his. Oh, no, it's not on Williams. Oh, the offensive foul charged to Southeast to Colin Laws. I wasn't expecting that call. That's kind of obvious. Grizzlies will get the possession. Williams will head it toward the timeline. On the far side, Henderson spin move, still has the ball. Gives it off to Benning. Benning driving, puts it up from 8 feet off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Southeast. Preston Din brings it across the timeline. He drives, sends it into the corner. And we have a foul. What do we have? Or did he step out of bounds? Stepped out of bounds, did the receiver on that play. When he went to make his drive, he dragged his right foot back. Eli Benning. Grizzlies inbound. That's Williams with it for Northwest. Tayshawn. A bounce pass into the corner, it works, and now a ball thrown right into the hands of Colin Laws. I'm sorry, not Laws, but DJ Brown. And I think we're going to have a foul charge to Northwest here, and Brown's going to go to the line and shoot a couple. It's on Williams, that's his second. He'll probably come out now. DJ Brown's first one is good. Benning comes in for Williams. Williams will sit for at least the rest of the quarter. Brown makes them both. It's 14-9. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. Stoppage of play here, and ball goes out of bounds. And ball's inbounded to Colin Laws. We'll see how they play it here. Man-to-man defense by Northwest. Preston Din underneath, puts it up, and he's fouled. He's going to go to the line and shoot a pair. The basket did not go in. A ball did not go into the basket. That's the fourth team foul on Northwest. They're now at the limit. So if they foul again in this quarter, it'll be free throws. Brown will shoot it for Southeast, and he's very, very consistent. He's made 3 in a row. One of their better free throw shooters. He'll get one more, and he'll try and cut it to 3. Grizzlies led by 7 a moment ago. That one misses, rebounded by Southeast. Ball blocked out. And it's going to stay with Southeast, which They've got 28 seconds on the clock to work with. Now we have something going on here. We have whistles abounding. I guess they didn't like the way somebody was setting up. Probably us. In the corner for three. Short put back. Yes! And that'll do it. Henderson scores, by the way. That's the end of the first quarter. Pretty good first quarter for Northwest, if I do say so. Play, it's Northwest 16, Southeast 10. We'll be back. This is... Grizzlies will inbound to start the second quarter. And we are underway here in quarter number 2. That's Benning with the ball. He's on the floor with Darian Hammond, Jerome Henderson, Liam Calvert. Henderson, oh, he threw it away. That'll be over and back. Turnover for Northwest. We'll give it to the Buffs. Jackson Malvo just subbed out. I did not see who came in for him. Marcus Robinson. And the lead is down to 4. There's a two. Eli Benning scores for Northwest to make it 18-12. Each team traded a basket. There's one from Brown. That rattles in and out. No good. EQ gets the rebound. Here comes Northwest back down the floor. Benning with it for the Grizzlies. Sends it over to EQ. EQ, spin move, gets it up, and they're calling him for an offensive foul, I think. Yep. Call the charge on EQ, and first team foul of the quarter and the first on Franklin EQ. Colin Laws will inbound for Southeast. Gets it to Preston Dinn on the far side. He's being pressured by Darian Hammond. Preston Dinn still with it. Now Southeast takes the first time out of the game. I don't know if it's a 30-second or a full. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and take that timeout with them. Stay with us. We'll be.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
to redefine yourself,
To improve yourself.
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
Than you ever knew.
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training.
The best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
Coming out of the timeout, it'll be Southeast basketball as we resume play. No changes in personnel for Northwest. There's a loose ball, and that one does fall finally. Granger gets the basket for Southeast. Benning lost the handle on it. Here's Southeast with a breakaway. No. Good interception that time by Darian Hammond. Henderson with it again for Northwest. And that one goes out of play, and it'll turn over to Southeast. Coming in for Northwest, number 22, a Jadius Red, 6'5", junior forward. He replaced EQ, who sat down. Din brings it across the timeline, spin move by Granger. Over here on the near side for three, missing, rebounded by Hammond. Good defensive position that time by the Grizzlies. There's a block and a takeaway by Southeast, 2-on-1 break, and the ball's put in. Colin Laws puts it in, and the Grizzlies' lead is down to 2 points. And we have another whistle. Looks like we're going to have a foul on Southeast, and it's on Braden Dale. That's his first. Be a shooting foul, and going to the line will be Eli Benning. Will shoot two. The first one rims and falls. And I guess I'm going to take this back, folks. They counted the basket. I didn't think they would. So that was an and one. And the Grizzlies lead by 5 again. Begging my pardon. And there's a 3 ball by Granger. Williams underneath, lost the handle. Colin Laws comes away with it for the Buffs. Colin Laws for 3, no. They stopped the play, and we're going to have a foul called on Northwest. It's on Williams, and that's his third.
Foul number 2 for Northwest. Tayshawn Williams, his third personal foul.
He's going to be coming out real quick. Darian Hammond goes in for him, and we will not see Williams for the rest of the half, and Williams pounds his chair in disgust because he's got 3 fouls already. Southeast will inbound, and they resume play. DJ Brown with it, spin move, puts it up off the glass, doesn't go, swept off by Henderson. There's a long one for Hammond underneath the red, yes. Grizzlies take the lead again. Nice play by Hammond to get the ball to Red, and Red did a nice job to finish it. Here's Colin Laws for 3, hits the backboard, gets his own rebound, puts it up, hits the rim. Here's one for Eli Benning, and that should be goaltending. Northwest takes a timeout. They haven't put any points up. I can't believe they're not going to call goaltending there. We'll see what they do. Northwest takes its first timeout. And they did put the basket up. After consultation, they did call goaltending. And that was the right call in my view. So the Grizzlies have a 4-point lead again. Southeast will resume play. Ball's inbounded. Colin Laws takes it for Southeast. Back to Brown. Out to Din. Off the glass. That guy is good. Benning has it for Northwest. He puts one up good. Eli Benning makes it a 4-point game again. Clock running, 2:44 to go. Taken away by Glasper to Benning in the paint. Glasper, count it. This will be a full timeout. We're going to take a full timeout as well. Stay with us. You're watching NWHS Grizz. With our executive producer, Rylan Biggs, Kevin Arkin with you. We are at Southeast High School for the varsity boys game. Hope you're enjoying the contest as we Southeast with the ball. Ball's underneath. Brown puts it up and scores. And we're having a problem with our clock here. There we go. Darian Hammond sends one in the corner for three. Good! That's what we needed. Henderson scores from three-point land. Granger off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Brown. Brown lays it in. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line and get his own three. Benning brings it across the timeline with 90 seconds to go. At the free throw stripe. Gives it away to Henderson. Henderson back to Benning. Benning, a long-range three, good! Eli Benning from downtown makes it a 7-point game again. Brown from three. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Laws. Brown is going to try another one. He makes this one. Teams exchange three-pointers, less than a minute to go. Another three try, missing everything, and swept away by Granger. And now we have a whistle. Foul's going to be called on Glasper. Grizzlies are now at the limit. Franklin EQ comes in. Minute to go, 30 seconds ago. Grizzlies will play for the last shot. Benning from the paint misses, way short, and there's a fast break for Brown, and Brown will lay it in and tie it up at the buzzer. Well, that 7-point lead evaporated in a real hurry and went from 7-0. At the end of the first half, we are all tied at 35.
Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest. They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out.
We went ahead and cut away from our halftime break. We did not know there was going to be a performance, and when they announced the performance, we cut away. We are going to go ahead and go to that break now. See you in 3 minutes, folks. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly Basketball.
Hey Grizzly Nation, this is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare young people in Kansas for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the...
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
Than you ever knew.
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training.
The best technology in the world.
Welcome back to Southeast High School with Rylan Biggs, Kevin Arkin. Grizzlies trail. Don't trail. They should be trailing the way they played the last minute. They blew a 7-point lead in the last 45 seconds of the first half and were tied at halftime at 35. Give you an update on what's remaining after tonight. There's only 4 games left after tonight's game. Be at East High. Rylan and I will be at East High on Friday to cover the East High at Blue Aces taking on the Grizzlies. We're on the air at 5:45 Friday night. with that game. Then we go Tuesday, we're at home. We take on the South High Titans for the final time in the regular season. Next Tuesday, we're on the air at 5:45 next Tuesday night with the girls' pregame show. Then we travel over to West High on Friday night for our final road game of the year. That'll be on Friday the 16th. We'll take on the Pioneers in their building over at West High in a doubleheader, and again, we're on the air at 5:45 with that one. And then senior night, our home finale is on the 20th. Senior night will also present the senior night festivities between games for you. That'll be live. So be sure, if you can't come out to Northwest on senior night to watch in person, join us on NWHS Grizz. Playoffs, we don't know much of anything yet. We do know that the girls will not host, and we do know that in all likelihood the boys will host at least once. If they can win 3 of their last 4, they'll get to host twice, and that could be a big advantage in the postseason, having home court advantage for the playoffs. We'll know about that and when those games are and what games we're going to be able to cover. At this point, everything is up in the air. A lot of it has to do on timing. And that timing, a lot of that timing, quite frankly, folks, is personal. My only daughter-in-law is expecting her first child. Her due date is the day after tomorrow. And we think that they're going to induce if Miss Clementine, their about-to-be daughter, is lazy and getting out. They're going to go ahead and induce on Thursday. Mrs. Arkin and I will be heading to Austin, Texas, where they live, and spending a week or so down there. We don't know exactly when we're going, but we're not sure. We could very well miss. We very could well miss the playoffs. We do not know yet. Family has to come first. And we hope the Grizzlies do well, whether we're there or not. And we can only do 2 games. If we do playoffs, the most we can do is 2 of the games anyway. So we'll keep you posted on that, let you know how that's going, and ask for your thoughts and prayers for my daughter-in-law as she and my son are about to have their first. Okay, the Buffs will inbound to start play here in the third quarter. It's a tie game, 35 apiece. Grizzlies will now be playing from right to left for the remainder of the game. We're all set to go, and we're underway here in the third quarter. Preston Dinn has the ball for Southeast. Colin Laws provides him a little screen, and Preston Dinn rolls in and gives Southeast the lead. They have not had a lead since the first quarter. Underneath, Henderson rolls off the glass and misses. Brown scores 3 for Southeast, and just like that, the Grizzlies are down by 5. There's another 3 attempt, and that one's good. Whoops. Well, they only gave Southeast 2 points on the first that first long bomb. He must have been. Grizzlies down by 7. That's their biggest deficit since they were down by 8 in the first quarter. Very early in the game, in fact. took a full timeout. I'm surprised. If I had known that, I would have done something, but it's okay. Each team has 3 timeouts remaining now. And the possession arrow is pointing toward Northwest. And the Grizzlies inbound to resume play here in the third quarter. On the floor for Northwest, Tayshawn Williams has the ball. He's playing with 3 fouls. And his pass underneath is intercepted. At the stripe, gives it to Henderson. Henderson up off the glass, count it. Jerome Henderson scores, and we're down by 5. Preston Dinn sends it wide. They thought about a 3, did Granger. He sends it over here on the near side to Dale. Colin Laws, a long 2, rims out, no good. Rebound to Northwest. That one doesn't go. The putback does. Grizzlies are within 3 again. Jace Glasper, the senior, who I understand is going to Missouri Western next year to play football. We congratulate him on that. Long 2 by Brown misses. A rare miss for that young man, and we'll take it. Grizzlies bring it down the floor. That's Williams with it. Williams, and now a foul called, and I think Williams is going to shoot free throws. First foul. And it is Williams at the line to shoot a pair. First one is good. He has one more coming. Second one for Williams. Off the heel, no good. Williams gets the rebound and a lay-in, ties it up. Henderson did a great job there to get that ball. There's an alley-oop play that didn't work. They were going for the dunk. And that one out of play, thrown away, and it goes back to Southeast. Inbounded to Dinn. Hammond on him. And that's taken away by the Grizzlies. Underneath. That ball batted out of bounds. It'll stay with Northwest. But another block shot, and Southeast has had their share of them, and that is largely attributable to the height differential between the two teams. David Johnson comes in, number 21 for Southeast. Also coming into the game, Augustus Archie, number 10. And he replaces Preston Dinn, and that doesn't bother me in the least. Benning from the stripe, short, gets his own rebound. Underneath to Glasper. Glasper pulls it back out. Gives it to Benning. Benning thought about a 3, now sends it to Williams. Williams into the paint, underneath, lay it in. Thank you. And the Grizzlies lead again. Jerome Henderson finishes it off. Great pass from Williams. Williams has got to be very careful defensively because of his foul trouble. There's a long three-pointer off the heel, no good. Putback misses, but we have a whistle. Granger, offensive foul called. Away from the ball. And that will give the ball to Northwest on the turnover. That's Granger's second foul. Preston Dinn comes back in. He replaces Colin Laws. Robinson also comes back in. and he replaces Johnson. Grizzlies with it. Glasper, Henderson, and to Benning. That one. And we have a whistle, and that ball evidently landed on the baseline. And that'll turn it over to Southeast. Brown gives it off to Preston Dim. Franklin EQ all over him. Long three off the rim, no good, rebounded by Benning. Benning brings it down, 1-on-2. Tayshawn Williams thought about a three, gets in closer, puts it in from 8 feet. Grizzlies lead by 4. Well, from trailing by 6, they lead by 4. It's been a seesaw night for both teams. Granger from 3. Good. And the lead is back down to 1. Underneath Henderson. What a pass by Tayshawn Williams. Henderson finishes it. Grizzlies up by 3. Brown gives it off. Now Din for 3, uncontested. He missed one. That's a surprise. Jace Glasper gets the rebound, brings it down. Williams for 3 off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Southeast, and they'll bring it back down now. Grizzlies lead by 3, 2:10 to go. Third quarter. In the far corner, Brown for 3, ties it up. We have a travel charge to Benning. Calvert returns to the lineup for Northwest. He's out there with EQ, Williams, Henderson, and Benning. Buffaloes bring the ball down the floor. That's Preston Din with it. Sends it back to Granger. Granger to Brown. Brown for 3. It's short. Put back by Robinson. Misses. And he traveled anyway. It'll be Northwest ball. Tied at 48. 93 seconds to go in the third quarter. Benning with the ball. Bringing it up the floor. Glasper gives it to Williams. Williams pulls it back out. To Benning. Motion offense for Northwest. Benning's shot is short. Rebounded by Preston Din. He sends a long one forward for Granger. Granger triple teamed. He gives it off to Robinson. And what do we have here? It's going to stay with Southeast. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. Tied at 48. Hammond comes back in for Northwest, replacing Henderson. Preston Din with the ball. 2-3 zone set up by Northwest. In the paint is Dale, and he missed it. Put back, count it, and a foul. Foul, I think, is going to be charged to, it is on Liam Calvert. We have a player down on the floor, and I think that's EQ. He went down hard in a collision on that last play. Coach Hill is out there with him, along with Robin Cadle, the trainer for Southeast, a name you may or may not remember. She is the former trainer at Northwest. She left a couple years ago to come here before Tommy Gonzalez took over. He is sitting up, so it looks like he's going to be getting up here momentarily. And they get him up. And he's got a nosebleed. He took one in the chops.
Number 13, Rylan is up and moving the bat with his own strength.
We'll reset this for you. We've got Benning, Calvert, Hammond, Henderson. And it's good. Grizzlies will play for the last shot, down by 3. Benning gives it to Hammond. Man-to-man defense set up by the Buffaloes of Southeast. Hammond gives it to Henderson. Henderson lost the ball, got it back. Gives it to Benning. Benning with it. Gives it to Benning. Benning with it. Tried to put it up. He's double teamed. Calvert at the buzzer, doesn't go. And that's the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3 quarters of play, Northwest trails 51-48. Back with the fourth quarter after this. Stay with us. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly Basketball. Grizzlies will inbound to start play in the fourth quarter, trailing 51-48. On the floor for Northwest, Tayshawn Williams, Eli Benning, Jerome Henderson, Chase Glasper, and Darian Hammond. Williams underneath, dishes it back out, and they give it to Calvert. No, I'm sorry, they give it to Benning, excuse me. Spin move, off the glass, count it. Henderson. Underneath, an easy lay-in for Robinson. And the Grizzlies down by 3 again. We have a clock stoppage. Preston Dinn comes back in for the Buffaloes, and back in for Northwest is Jadius Red. Williams underneath into the paint. Oh, how did he not get that? And the second one was blocked. He missed a lay-in, and then the second shot up was blocked. And Southeast comes away with it. And we have a whistle and a stoppage of play. Andy Hill is not happy camper. Well, we have the timeout. I don't even know who took the timeout. It's a 30-second timeout being taken by by the Buffs. We'll keep it right here. 6:48 remaining in the fourth. Grizzlies down 53-50. They trailed by 3 coming into this quarter after leading by 6 at halftime. No, I'm sorry, they were tied at halftime. Excuse me. It'll be Southeast ball. Preston Dinn takes the inbound pass in front of Eli Benning. Benning up off the heel, no good. Who's going to get the rebound? And now they're going to another whistle. What are we calling? I think they're going to call Brown for over the back. And that's exactly what they're doing. Brown's second personal, first team foul of the quarter for either team. Robinson comes out. Colin Laws back in for the Buffaloes. Grizzlies inbound. That's Benning with the ball for Northwest. Eli in the paint. Oh, he couldn't get the pass off properly, and we have a foul called here after the errant pass. And if that's on Williams, he's in trouble. It's on Benning, thank goodness. That's only his second. Hammond comes in, replacing Calvert. Preston Dinn with it. Dinn blows by Hammond. That's Williams, top of the key with it. Into the paint to Henderson. Henderson, spin move. They're going to call him for a charge, I'm willing to bet you. What are they calling? Yep, they called him for a charge. That's Henderson's first foul. Couldn't have come at a worse time. Southeast with a 3-point lead and the ball. Granger, there's a long 3 ball off the heel, rebounded by Southeast. Now they got another call, and I think they're going to call a push off on Southeast. It's on Colin Laws. That's his second. Williams with the ball for Northwest. Thought about a 3. Benning to Henderson. Henderson pulls it out. Now, nice pass over to Darian Hammond, who puts it in, and they're going to give him. They're giving him the basket and a foul. A chance to tie it up. It's on Dale. It's his second. And I said Hammond, that was Williams that scored on that drive. And Williams will shoot the free throw. And he missed. Grizzlies somehow get it back. Williams has it again. Williams drives into the paint over on the near side. And I have no idea what they did here. Glasper just got hit with a foul, and not on a blocking foul. Southeast with the lead and the ball. They'll bring it down the floor. That one missed, rebounded by Henderson. Down the floor to Hammond. Hammond. Oh, that was stolen away by Southeast. Up in the air, now we've got a foul call. I think it's going to be on Williams. It is. That's his fourth. We can ill afford to lose that young man. Preston Dinn with the ball for Southeast. Grizzlies trail by 1. They have trailed they have not led most of this half. They were tied at half. They led by as many as 7 at one point. They trailed by as many as 8 at one point in the first half. Southeast takes a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take it. Coming out of the timeout, should be Southeast basketball. And it is, and we're back underway. Up underneath, short, rebounded by Northwest. Here we go. Come on, boys, let's get the lead. A three-point ball wouldn't have counted anyway as the whistle had blown. I have no idea why, but I didn't see it. Grizzlies will inbound. As I can remember, and it should go to Northwest by my count. Of course, my count is wrong.
Checking in for Northwest, number 22, Red.
Jadius Red comes in for Hammond, and the ball will belong to Southeast. DJ Brown has it and gives it off to Laws. Laws to Dale in the paint and back out, and they threw it away. Northwest basketball. Come on, boys. What are you doing? Well, it's not Northwest basketball. They're giving it to Southeast. I guess Northwest must have punched it out or deflected it, one or the other. Brown in front of Clasper. There's a poke away by Henderson. And Henderson can't get it, but the putback is in, and the Grizzlies have the lead. Glasper gives them the lead after the miss by Henderson. Now the Grizzlies need to make a stop. Southeast, he gives it to DJ Brown. Brown puts it up from 15 feet. Good. That's a two-pointer. And it gives them the lead right back again, 55-54. Benning calling out a play to his teammates. In the paint, Benning can't get rid of it. He gives it to Glasper. Henderson for three. Good! Henderson gives us a 2-point lead with 2 to go. Granger. Robinson lost the ball going up. The whistle blows and a foul is going to be called. Robinson will go to the line to shoot a pair. It's on Glasper. It's his 4th. Grizzlies have 2 starters in the game now with 4 fouls apiece. Robinson will shoot free throws. First one is good. Glasper takes a different position on the line. Robinson's second one. Rims out. The rebound goes to Southeast. That one misses. Another rebound to Southeast. Robinson misses, and now on another call, and there's going to be another foul. Or what do they call him here? I think he called a jump ball. No, he called a foul. And it's on Glasper. He will have fouled out. Glasper disqualified on fouls and also puts the Grizzlies over the limit. So Southeast will be shooting free throws the rest of the game now on any foul. Southeast still has 1 foul to give. Liam Calvert comes back in, replacing Glasper. Benning having a visit with a ref about something. They're still talking about it. First one by, and that one also falls, and Southeast has the lead again. Here come the Grizzlies. 100 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Grizzlies down by 1. Underneath. Off the glass. Yes! Grizzlies lead. Count the basket and a foul. So on Laws, that's his 3rd. Southeast is at the limit. This will be a 1-shot attempt here by Red. Count it. Grizzlies by 2. Hammond comes back in for Northwest, and Northwest is taking a full timeout. We'll take it with them, our last full timeout of regulation. You're watching NWHS Grizz. This is Grizzly basketball.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
Than you ever knew.
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training.
The best
Bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
At Southeast High School, Grizzlies have a 2-point lead with 1:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. Southeast with the ball. Grizzlies have 1 timeout remaining. Southeast has 1 timeout remaining. Grizzlies have 2. And both teams are over the limit, so it'll be free throw time for both teams on any succeeding foul. Southeast inbounds with some token pressure being put on. Hammond putting the pressure on at the moment. Preston Dinn dishes it off. DJ Brown to Brandon Dale. Dale for 3, and it's good. And the Grizzlies trail again by 1. DJ Brown from 6 feet. He's automatic from that range, and the Grizzlies trail again. I've lost track of the lead changes, but there's been a boatload. Williams gives it away, and Grizzlies lead again. 64-63, 19 to go. Brown from 3, good. DJ Brown from 3 and Benning for 2, and we're tied with 2 seconds to go on the clock. Someone has called a timeout here, and I don't know if it's the officials or a team. We're tied at 66. Now the referees are conferring with a scorer. Not exactly sure. I think it's a clock issue. .9 is what is on the clock. Now they've changed it to 2.5. 2.5 seconds remaining. That's enough for an inbound play and a desperation shot to win. Southeast will have the ball. Both teams again are over the limit. I would say we've got a good shot at. Don't go anywhere, folks. If there's an overtime, I don't care if it's a school night, we're bringing it to you. And they got a guy cherry picking down here, and Coach Darr is shouting to his team to cover the man in the back. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, long ball. No. And we are in overtime. Tied at 66. We'll be back with the overtime after this.
Hey, Grizzly Nation. This is Eric Hofer-Holdeman, your principal at Northwest High School. Did you know Grizzly Pride is the combined booster club and PTO here at Northwest? They support both athletics and academics. We're asking you to join Grizzly Pride this year. Due to these extraordinary times, Grizzly Pride doesn't have the same fundraising opportunities they normally have, and we need you to join and offer your donation to help Grizzly Pride out. Go to our Northwest webpage, join today. Go Grizzlies.
Back at Southeast High School, getting set for overtime. And I can't remember the last time. I think it's been 4 years since the boys had an overtime game that I had the privilege of calling. So we're going to play 4 more minutes. Nothing changes on the fouls or anything. I think the teams do get an additional timeout, I think. Although they're showing the Buffaloes with no timeouts remaining. I'm willing to buy that. Let's get rid of that timeout. We're going to do a tip. Red is out there to tip it for Northwest, and the ball is won by the Grizzlies. Tayshawn Williams scores. Keep in mind, Tayshawn Williams is playing with 4 fouls. He's out there with Hammond, Henderson, Red, and Preston Dinn gets it right back. And Eli Benning, that's the 5 on the floor here in overtime. Underneath, off the glass, doesn't go. Rebound loose on the floor. Who's going to get it? It's going to be a pile-up and a held ball. And on the alternating possession, it should go to Southeast. Let's see what they... It will go to Southeast. Oh, what a dumb rule. All righty, back underway. Grizzlies fall back on defense quickly. Tied at 68. Preston Dinn, spin move, underhanded, missed. Rebounded by Benning. Benning sends it over on the far side to Williams. Tayshawn Williams. Loose ball picked off, up and off the glass, and a foul called. And I know we're going to be shooting free throws because everybody is over the limit. Oh, they started over. Folks, I got to take this back. I don't know all the rules here. They start the fouls over in overtime. I did not know that. I thought everything continued. First free throw by Red misses. Robinson checks in for Southeast, replacing Laws. Red gets one more. He missed them both. Put back though by Henderson, and we've got the lead. Preston Dinn with the ball for Southeast. He gives it to DJ Brown. Brown from 18 feet misses. And Tayshawn Williams will take his time bringing it across the timeline. Grizzlies lead by 2. They need to score to make it a 2-possession game. And there's a foul. They're calling him for a charge. And that will foul him out. Tayshawn Williams is disqualified on fouls. Grizzlies will substitute in a player, and they substituted in, who did they bring? Franklin EQ is back in the game. Southeast will get the ball on the turnover as well. Well, that play really hurt. Williams doesn't like the call, and he's letting it be known to the official who made the call. But he's done for the night. Bringing the ball down the floor. That's Dale with it. Puts it in the paint to Brown. Brown sends it wide, and we have a whistle.
To the free throw line, shooting 2 for Southeast. Number 2, Brown.
Shooting 2 free throws is DJ Brown. He can tie it up here. First one is good.
Checking in for the Grizzlies, number 15, Calvert.
Second one, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Calvert. He gives it to Benning without traveling, and a good job by Calvert that time. Grizzlies lead by 1. Benning, spin move, puts it up off the glass. Yes, it falls. Grizzlies by 3. Preston Dinn with it for Southeast. He gives it to Granger. Granger in the paint to Robinson, to Granger, and he stuffs it. It's still only 2 points. Oh, they called a foul on that?
The basket is good for Southeast, number 3, Granger. To the free throw line.
Granger's going to shoot 1. And he ties it up. That last foul, by the way, was charged to Adarius Red. And evidently, folks, I was right to start with when I said both teams were over the limit, because they've got 5 fouls up now for each team on the scoreboard. They have changed that. Timeout is taken by Northwest. They now have 1 to go. We'll just keep it here. We're going to be signing off here as soon as the game is concluded, because this is a school night for some of us. So we'll tell you that we are on the air Friday night at 5:45. Please join us. We'll be at East High for a City League doubleheader. Resetting this game for you, both teams over the limit. 1:03 to go in the first overtime, 72 apiece the score. Southeast has no timeouts left. Northwest has 1. And unless I'm mistaken, the possession arrow is pointing to Northwest. And it will be Northwest inbounding to resume play here in overtime. Benning will inbound it. No, that will not be Benning inbounding. Benning will shoot it and miss. And here's a chance for Calvert, back to Benning. 37 to go. And the Grizzlies may be content to play for the last shot here. Benning, scoop shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Southeast, and that may spell the doom for Northwest. A timeout has been taken. I don't understand how Southeast can take a timeout when they don't have any. But they just called timeout, and they're giving it to them. Now they're saying it's Northwest calling the timeout. So by my record, nobody has any timeouts left. 17 to go on the game clock. Grizzlies trail by 2, and Southeast has the ball. That's not a good combination. Well, we'll see what happens here. Tell you who's going back out on the floor for Northwest. Hammond, Benning. Hammond, Benning, Henderson. Who else is going out there? AQ and Red. Those are the 5 on the floor here in the waning seconds of overtime. Dale inbounds it. We're back underway. And the Grizzlies are going to need to foul here in a hurry. And they can't get the foul off. That doesn't help either. And we have a stoppage. And I think we do have a foul called. It's on Eli Benning. That's his 4th. It will send Brown to the, Granger goes to the line to shoot 2. If he makes them both, we just made the first one. If he makes the next one, the game in all likelihood is over. AQ comes out, Calvert comes in. Northwest takes a timeout, and I show them with none left, so it'll be a full timeout for Northwest. Well, we'll just keep it right here and enjoy life. What do you think? Grizzlies are down by 3. Got a free throw coming, and like I said, if he makes his free throw, the game is all but over. Grizzlies have lost 3 games this year. They've lost twice to Heights, once to Capon, and those are the only teams to beat them this year. Tie, a very formidable opponent in their building. It's going to make it tough for Northwest on Friday night. You want to join us? Teams are back on the floor. We have a free throw yet to be shot by Granger. And it's good. That just about does it, folks. Colin Laws returns for Southeast. Benning brings it down and puts up a long 3. It's short, and that'll do it. We're final here at Southeast, and your final score tonight in overtime. Southeast 76 and Northwest 72. For our executive producer, Rylan Biggs, who did a wonderful job tonight on camera. He's going to join us again on Friday. I'm Kevin Arkin, saying thank you for joining us. Once again, Grizzlies fall. They're upset by the Buffs. 76-72. Until Friday night, have a good time, everybody, and good night.